Welcome to That's Good Broncos. I am Brandon Perna, and after 3 NFL weeks, I think we have a lot to talk about in terms of this Denver Broncos football team. Mostly the quarterback, where it's at, where it's going, and the future. Who's the quarterback of the future? If you are a regular viewer here, you know that I've gotten high with Trevor Siemian. I've been high on Trevor Siemian for a while. You also know I do my best not to spew a bunch of bullshit and make definitive claims about football talking points that can never have definitive claims. Right now, people are trying so very hard to claim one of two things. 1, the Broncos have found the quarterback of the future with Trevor Siemian. 2, this is still Paxton Lynch's team, even if he has to sit 2 years now. It's Lynch's team still. I'm just here to vomit unfavorable truth back in your face. Neither statement is true or false. Nobody fucking knows yet. Not John Elway, not Gary Kubiak, and certainly not anyone at the NFL Network.
And a CLOSER look at the EAGLEST.
They're so out of ideas there that they're literally just spelling shit out for people. In the spring, it was a foregone conclusion that Mark Sanchez would be the starter. The Broncos cut him. Then the story became, how long will Simeon play until he gets benched for Lynch? The experts also thought there was no way in hell the Broncos would be 3-0 after these first 3 games. The great thing about football is, we never fucking know. There are no guarantees, no matter how many are made by the Skip Baylesses, Colin Cowherds, and Mike Evans of the world. Which makes me wonder why people get paid a lot of money to pretend like they have the answers. There's only one guy that has all of the answers. No, not your God. Alex Trebek. That guy fucking knows stuff. And Jesus, he looks good for 76. He's 76. Analyzing football is a great job because you can be wrong a lot and nobody gives a shit. Why the hell do you think I want this job so bad? Before we build a nice little stepladder to jump onto the Simeon bandwagon, let's remember, before he had the best half of his short career, he had the worst. He's still got a lot to learn. He really does, but he set the bar pretty high for a first-time starter. Had Cincinnati not dropped 2 interceptions in that game, we might be having a very different conversation this week. That's what's crazy about football, the difference between being the hero and the GOAT. Not the new meaning of GOAT, the old one that meant you suck, is minuscule. Let's pretend for a second that the Broncos had a great second half last week, but lost the game. If that happened, the focus would not have been on Simeon's great fourth quarter. It would have been on all the missed opportunities in the first half, and he missed plenty of throws. All I'm asking for is for fucking football analysts to remember entire games before making their bullshit claims. However, the good news on top of Simeon's great game is he can get even better. Had he made those early throws, it would have been a blowout. Look, we tend to make the story whatever we want depending on our personal agenda, right? I do it all the time when figuring out new ways to shit on the Patriots. And I'm pretty good at it. The reason I'm being critical of Simeon's great performance is so we don't get ahead of ourselves in terms of expectations. Yes, I do believe there's a real possibility that this team could be significantly better and more balanced by the time the playoffs arrive than they were last year. I believe Simeon, AFC Offensive Player of the Week, by the way, and the Broncos offense will play well next week against Tampa Bay. You have to believe the team and players will get better every week, but with inexperience at the quarterback position, that's not a guarantee week to week. Trevor may have a terrible game at some point, and that's okay. I'm saying the hardest thing to do with a young quarterback is not be overreactionary. Patience is the name of the game here. I also don't want to hear, this is still Paxton Lynch's team, and I heard that on the fucking radio today. Lynch may sit 1 to 2 years, but this is still his team. There's no such thing in the NFL. There's no fucking guarantees.
Because they know all they sold you was a guaranteed piece of shit.
If Simeon continues to get better each week and the Broncos continue to win, how on earth do you say, sure, we were 13-3 with Simeon, but we did draft Lynch high, so we better play him instead? You don't say that. Because that's not how good NFL organizations make decisions. Unless an injury happens, the one thing you don't do in the NFL is make a QB change when your team is kicking ass. If Simeon turns out to be very good consistently, Lynch won't see the field as the starter for the Broncos. If we never see Lynch play in Denver, that means Simeon is the real fucking deal. And we like real fucking deals.
Yeah, makes a man feel good.
The Broncos bought 2 nice cars. They're currently driving a 2016 Buick Regal. They have a Mercedes in the garage that's getting some transmission work. It's a 2017, but there's a possibility the dealer who sold them that Benz might be a shady asshole. Not naming names, dealing Doug. This is not Paxton Lynch's team. We have no idea yet if Simeon can be the franchise quarterback. The chances both Simeon and Lynch are great top 5 NFL QBs is next to none. I have a better chance of getting my own show on the NFL Network than Simeon and Lynch both being top 5 QBs. But if Simeon happens to be a top 5 or top 10 NFL quarterback, there's no reason on earth you'd get rid of that in favor of the unknown. Simeon was not the plan. Brock Osweiler was, but the NFL is fluid. Things move, plans go to shit, and if you believe Elway and Kubiak are just waiting to hand over the team to Lynch, you're wrong. It's not that calculated. We still don't know Simeon's ceiling. His performance last week was an eye-opener, proving he can make any throw asked of him. He also bounced back from adversity after having a rough first half. However, even with a bad first half, the team was still ahead. Simeon's been cool as a cucumber thus far, but the questions that remain are, can he dig the team out of a big deficit? Can he take over a game the way all great QBs do? Can he be so effective that opposing defenses fear him? We still have a ton to learn about him, and the craziest part, the hardest part about evaluating Simeon is with this defense, we may not know even at the end of this season. There's a chance this team will never be down by that many points because the defense is so fucking good. There will be moments, drives, and situations we learn from, but guess what? If the defense stays healthy, the Broncos will continue to not need an elite quarterback. And the real problem after Elway and Manning is we don't know what to do if the face of the franchise isn't a quarterback. If you want me to make one statement about Simeon, it is this. He currently has the highest QBR in the 4th quarter. He's playing his best when it matters the most. What other Broncos quarterback did that? Simeon is John Elway's son. Illegitimate or not, nobody's gonna talk about that. Thanks for watching That's Good Broncos. Make sure you subscribe here. Give me a follow on Twitter @BrandonPerna. For all of your Denver sports news needs, go to bsndenver.com. Rockies, Nuggets, Avalanche, CSU, CU, who is hot by the way. And big thanks to my friends at Mile High Report, the biggest Broncos blog on earth.